certainly know what that theme song means. That's right, it's another episode of Unite Radio, heard right here on our flagship station, 99.1 FM Talk. That's Fox News Radio, and taped in front of a live audience week after week. Come join us. We're going to start taping this show now at 2 p.m. every Tuesday. Come join the audience and get on a microphone. This show is brought to you by Connecting the Good and is hosted by none other than Richard Flyer.
Hey, Eddie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I tell you what, it looks like both of us are going to be doing great because you have not only two very, very special guests, but one of them is lovely.
And they're both mediators.
Oh, no wonder. Well, see, I got off on the right foot.
We're going to have peace and harmony today, Eddie.
Oh, I love that. Let's start, if you don't mind, with Jeanette Belz, okay? Jeanette, if you don't mind, personalize Unite Radio for us, a little bit about yourself, where were you born, and what got you into mediating?
Well, good afternoon, Eddie. Thank you so much for having us here today. I was born across the big wide ocean. I was born in Berlin, Germany, while my dad was in the service. Came here when I was a little girl. Lived most of my life on the East Coast. Moved here in 1995. And it was actually through lobbying that I became interested in becoming a mediator. I was sitting in the Senate overlooking their deliberations, realizing that the same issue had come up year after year, session after session, and with no resolution. And so up there I looked online and found a mediation class, and I was hooked.
You know, Jeanette, you and I bumped into each other in the halls there during session, but I've got to share with you, without a doubt, and I want all the listeners on Fox News Radio and everybody in the audience and those listening here in the great state of Nevada to know your reputation precedes itself, because you are without a doubt one of the most highly, if you will, known and respected lobbyists in the great state of Nevada.
Why, thank you. If those listeners could see me, I'd be blushing.
Well, that's right. That's why it's radio.
So, you're here to represent the Nevada Dispute Resolution Coalition.
That's a mouthful, isn't it? We go by NDRC.
NDRC, okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great. And it's a coalition, I suppose, of mediators?
NDRC is a professional organization of alternative dispute resolution practitioners, and I have Carlos Romo with me here today. He's one of my colleagues, and we're part of their speakers bureau.
Well, that's great. I knew Trip Barthel, who
Yes.
was the director of the Neighborhood Mediation Center downtown. Might be a good entry point. I don't know if our listeners know about that.
Absolutely, and if I recall, you received the Peacemaker Award from the Neighborhood Mediation Center. This is a wonderful entry point because Carlos is actually involved with the Neighborhood Mediation Center. I volunteer there, but he serves on their board.
I do. As a matter of fact, I'm currently the chairperson. First, thank you, 99.1 Fox for radio, for having us here. I got a long history. I'm going to be 70 in a year or so, and one of the things that probably is going to take place, I got too much history, so let me try to cut to the chase here. I was born in the state of New Mexico. My first language is Spanish, so I had to go to school to learn English, very much probably like yours was German, Jeanette. I came to Nevada in 1972, and I stayed. I was an assistant university professor at UNR in foreign languages and literatures, but then I changed careers, and by the time I'd retired 4 years ago, I had 4 or 5 different careers, like many of us do. But my interest, it's kind of an inside joke to begin with. My wife says I go to church to meditate, and I said sometimes I go there to mediate. Okay, so I got into mediation. I suppose all of us, in a sense, are mediators because we deal with issues that we're mediating, but we don't know. But more formally, I was introduced to mediation through the Neighborhood Mediation Center, and you mentioned Trip Barthel, who was in fact the executive director. So I am certified in the sense that I took all the available classes and courses, and of course I do a lot of practice, and now I'm currently the chairperson for Neighborhood.